But against the world.
If you do not believe in what we are doing, then you better get out. We're not going to stop.
Going to lower the flag of Nigeria and raise the flag of the United States.
That's why it's very important. Sometimes we have where to verify this information, but our people,
Yes.
sometimes they are so lazy to go about and check this in before they carry the information and run with it.
Oh yeah, well.
Just hear it. And some of those narratives are created by the zoological agents to destabilize our mindset or to know what. Sometimes they use to know our feeling, how we're going to feel.
Yeah.
You can take it from me that maybe they are planning such a thing, but they don't know how Biafrans are going to react towards that. Yeah. So sometimes, in order to check our reaction, they will throw this thing out through their own media, through one of those their sponsored Twitter, on Twitter handle or any media group. They will just say it to see how we're going to react. And once they weigh that your emotional reaction and all that, they begin to take the action. But it never come out from anywhere. Now it's not a true this thing.
Truly is a big shame, a big shame on every one of them. No, not even any one of them is exempted. The Falanas, the P2B, all of them, that these people, they can continue to be massacred in the Middle Belt, and their priority is someplace else. It is I don't know how they can get away with all these things they are doing. For me, I find it so hard to understand that people are not emphasizing on the important things. We're in 2025, not 2026, not 2027, but you've all stopped governance. It's all about election, removing of governor or not removing, pressuring people to decamp from party to party, strategizing, and all the money they are borrowing is all on how they can share it among themselves while people continue to get massacred. And it's just so sad that I don't know. And in a normal society, somebody will be held responsible. You know, you cannot be a president, and but again, we saw it before the drug baron came through. The one before him, he was the same, more or less. In fact, his own was worse because he is one of the people that created insecurity. There's nothing hidden, and they cannot go and hold whether he's emo or he's impostor or whatever it is. But I believe there's somebody running around calling himself Buhari as we speak today. So if Nigeria was a normal, serious society, they will go and apprehend him. Let him come and explain how is it that he imported these terrorists from the Sahel region that are today massacring every indigenous people in Nigeria. But nobody can do that because they're all, I don't know. Bragre was talking about the new governor in Benue State. I was like, okay, but you don't know the condition in which he became a governor. Who knows? He probably could have sworn to something, you know, maybe because, you know, Utom was there before him, and Utom gave them hell to an extent. Utom gave them hell, and they gave Utom hell because they chased him. One time they wanted to buy him, if you remember, he ran in the bush. He went to a farm or something. So these people are.
Utom was facing them face to face. Sometimes he took it. He remember he went ahead to form his own security outfit, and they came after him.
Yeah, but the thing is that which can contribute is that these Fulanis are so emboldened that they will come after a sitting governor, chased him. He ran with his men, and maybe they buy a few or one, I don't know. But the level of impunity with these Fulanis, they are just untouchable. And the one that, and they also told Utom. So obviously, the one that took over from Utom, like I said, It would have been on the ground of promise that they made him a governor. Because if the caliphate, if you don't agree with the caliphate, you will not be the governor. Even if you win the election, they will remove you. Use the same judiciary that is controlled by the caliphate. They use them to remove you. Whether you win or you don't win, they have that much power in the country that is incredible, absolutely incredible. When you see all these our governors, they don't speak. They don't try to defend their people. It's because they are scared. Some of them have an oath with the caliphate, to allow them continue with the agenda. That is the situation. That is where we are. That is where the country is now. But I don't know. Okay, madam, my brother, okay,
Okay. You see, when we talk about the action of these people and the way they be, there's one video I came across I want to play. Let us hear. This man is one of the most senior people they have in that Fulani caliphate, the Fulani politicians. These are the people who brought the terrorists themselves into Nigeria. Sometimes when we come and we say that it is the Fulanis that are causing this mayhem, when we call Fulani terrorists, some people get angry. And I don't know why this one Nigerian is a bunch of clowns. I don't know why.
Yeah, they are evil. They are sometimes
as if we are saying something that is not true.
Exactly. Sometimes they are worst. They are more evil than the real evil. Because what do they want us to call them? TV of Yoruba terrorists. Why? How?
I just can't imagine. Now let us listen to this Erufai. Let us listen to this interview that was given to Erufai. Let us just listen.
If we went to that forest and flushed them out, would degrade their capacity.
No, the greatest challenge that you face, though, is the Fulani herdsmen today, which is being reported in just about every other media, that they are the ones perpetrating this crime.
Which crime?
Are they the ones?
Which crime?
Killing of people.
No. Look, let me explain the three problems.
Now, listen to his explanation. Let us listen to this explanation.
Sorry. Or current thing, Kabu, the current.
I didn't check what I just saw it. I just took it. I didn't know whether if it is current, but from indication it might not be current or maybe current. So.
Okay, then you will get it in context. The cattle rustling and banditry is an essentially Fulani phenomenon. Okay, it is Fulanis, and we knew where they were, and we collaborated with the state governments surrounding that notorious forest range, Kamuku Kuyambana Forest Reserve, and said, look, this is a problem that we have to solve jointly. We collaborated with the cooperation of other state governments. We put together money and a military operation, flushed them out. Okay? And today we have over 300 young Fulanis between 18 and 30 in custody for kidnapping, for cattle rustling, and robbery. Okay? So that we understood. It was easy because that's one place.
Okay. We follow that one up. When you understood the problem and flushed them out, did you...
When you say flush them out, is it not that same Fulani that he's denying? When this man tried to say the people kill their Fulani, he tried to deny it. And now he said that they gave order to flush them out. He mentioned them, the kidnappers, the cattle rustlers, and the criminals. And he confirmed that they are Fulanis.
He's a liar, bro. Bold-faced liar.
Let's see the question these guys are.
Subsequently find out that perhaps in that process, while they were flushed out, did they get involved in the other crisis which you're about to explain?
Maybe they did. Okay, I will come to that, because we have this problem has multiple dimensions, and I will try to cover everything as much as I can. But I'm trying to classify the problems and tell you what we did. Okay, so to a large extent, we degraded cattle rustling. They moved on to kidnapping. Okay, we have addressed that to a large extent. It's more or less sorted in Kaduna. Unfortunately, because of weak law enforcement, there are copycat crimes all over the states now. I'm learning to my dismay that even in Lagos now you have cases of kidnapping. But this is what we did. Now, the second problem of the urban gangs we addressed, because the police and the SSS knew who these gangs were. It was just the capacity to bring them to justice that was lacking, and that was done. So to a large extent, we solved that. It still breaks out once in a while, because drug addiction is a big problem, but that was sorted. The southern...
There is one thing this man said here. He said they caught them, but the problem was the capacity to bring them to justice. What does that mean? That the government lacked the capacity to bring the Fulanis to justice.
Yeah.
Can you imagine somebody saying that in a national TV?
That the DSS,
they came together, everyone will come, but they lack the capacity to bring this to justice.
Yeah.
The governor said it.
He just open his mouth and say whatever. They don't care. They lie to you. Whether you believe.
Clarify the Christian.
Okay, go.
Move what the thing to DSS. None of the prosecuting lawyer. The judge is Nayaga, I mean, expect the transmitter at their office. Because I have a number of the transmitter, no court law is correct. The lawyer, no, the judge. The judge is Nayaga, their office now, DSS office. That would have mean state without the transmitter has an agitated.
Okay.
Because I have to gas the same many things in my hand with the compassion, what and can, what they can. Work with 200 men, and I see I go see the evidence of yes, or whatever I may procession protest. Or you're not, I ain't telling you, yes, and days the city to see man. So I can say, I'm clarify the chief to the ship.
Oh, email. That is good clarification.
But when people are reporting that, they tell you that they say they want to carry the case to DSS.
Yes. Yeah. Massachusetts. Again, we can open inata akonyo wota igwe number if I know. Ige send tell me because come nye can cholia ego if I know can cholia data mobile.
Okay, it is well. Akonyo wota send me a message. Ocean Monster, go ahead. Ocean Monster, you wanted to say something? Ocean Monster wanted to speak before. I think he's back to work. So let me keep playing the video. Let's just listen to it.
But that was sorted. The southern Kaduna was more difficult because we didn't understand it. And this is why we needed a high-profile committee like the Agwai committee to look at it. And they did. We established the committee in July. By the end of August, they submitted a report. They went round southern Kaduna. They talked to community. They talked to everybody. And they came back with certain findings and recommendations. And the findings were very enlightening, even to me, who is Fulani. Okay, I'm 87.5% Fulani, I'm told by my parents. They found that there were 3 groups of Fulanis. The settled Fulanis, like me, that don't herd cattle, they're settled in one place, don't move around up and down. The semi-settled that live in Nigeria, they are Nigerians, but move their cattle up and down in search of pasture. And then there's the transhumans pastoralists that come from other African countries. Fulanis are in about 14 countries. All over West Africa, there is virtually no country in West Africa that is no Fulani minority or even majority. And under an ECOWAS protocol signed in 2003, these Fulanis take their cattle when the dry season in their country starts and herd them down to Nigeria, up to central Nigeria, okay, in search of pasture. And around March, when the rains start, they start moving back the same routes. And apparently, I didn't know this until I got briefing as governor, there are international stock routes mapped out from pre-colonial times that these transhumans herdsmen follow. Unfortunately, because of population explosion, we are 50 million at independence. Today we are nearly 200 million. Because of population explosion, urban development and farmlands have taken over some of these international routes. Okay, this is the basis for the clashes now.
Before this man continue, let it be on record that there is no grazing routes in the southeast. The old southeastern region, this grazing route they are talking about, does not extend to the old southeastern region. The ECOWAS grazing route this man idiot is talking about is in the north alone. So what are they looking for in the southeastern region?
Yeah.
What brought them? You know, when they want to explain this thing, they just carve out something and use it to cover up everything. There is no grazing route in the old southeastern region. There is no grazing route in Biafra land. The grazing route does not extend to Biafra land. It is only in the north.
But again, Rachus, okay, let's just, for the sake of argument, that we are in this modern time, in this day, who does that now? I mean, they have so much opportunities. They have so much capital to provide for this. Because in modern time, if you are running around with cattle, it's just detrimental in every sense of it. They are not being taken. The cows are not being well fed. They are not being taken. It's like more like even a punishment. You are suffering the cows, walking, and they are they don't. So the best way is to make a ranch. It's a huge business, billion dollar.
My brother Christian, that is where the problem comes. Value system.
Yeah.
You saw a member of the House of Assembly defending Fulani open grazing.
Yeah.
Telling you that they love their cow more than a human being. That is why we are calling for the disintegration of Nigeria. These people are not ready to embrace this modernization you are talking about. They are not ready to embrace it. Value system in the north is different from the south. This is why the whole world should come together and allow them to continue their open grazing that is in their land, not in our side.
Yeah.
They are not part of it.
This Rufai, he has stolen so much money. He's so rich, unbelievably rich, that he can almost single-handedly build a cattle ranch or ranch, whatever, because they have vast land lying shallow. Build it for them, build everything they need, but they don't want to do it. They are using it now as a camouflage or excuse to infiltrate others and carry out their real agenda. So they're just using it as excuse. The truth of the matter is that they can solve this problem. Like I said severally, Dangote is one of the, if not, I don't know how rich, but anyway, he has so much money that he can just deal with it. But he doesn't want, because his own, even the Dangote himself, his aim, his objective is Islamization of the entire country. It's as simple as that. People need to stop pretending or acting stupidly. That is the agenda, is to use every avenue, every excuse in the book to penetrate, so that we know this thing, bro. These people are just like, you remember that chamber, there's a guy sitting down there, a journalist, I think I don't know where he's from, Chamberlain. He was the one that interviewed Bala Mohammed, the former governor of either one of these.
State.
Yeah, exactly. So he was the one who asked him, when Bala Mohammed was telling that under Buhari that they have a program to integrate or to resettle the entire Marudin Fulanis in the Sahel in Nigeria. And then this Chamberlain asked him, he said to him, Mr. Governor, how did he put it? He said to him, so are you saying that Fulanis who are not Nigerians, who are originally they are not Nigerian, we should be brought in and settled in Nigeria? But I'm say, yeah, that is the program. This was like 6 years ago or even more, right? And today we are seeing the effect of all that. That is what everybody is living today. These people were brought in with arms and everything, and they did everything they did, including integrating them, mixing them up with the ISWAP, with the Boko Haram, with the arms, all the terrorists, and they are now wreaking havoc all over the country. And nobody, it's incredible. Let's go on.
A herdsman in Guinea, for instance, thinks that he can follow this route, and as he's following the route, he meets a farm, and his cattle destroys part of the farm, and the farmer...
in any situation, have you gotten reports, intelligence reports, that perhaps the farmers also took the cows of the herdsmen?
No, we have no such reports. But what often happens that when damage to a farm occurs, in those days, the Fulani would leave behind a small calf as compensation. So, you know, what I'm trying to say that in the past, there used to be a framework to settle these things, okay? But that framework has more or less collapsed. So, when we understood this, so Agwai Committee identified this and said, and they also found that some of what we're seeing in southern Kaduna were reprisal killings for what happened in 2011. Because in 2011, as the herdsmen were moving their cattle back to their countries or to their locations in various parts of northern Nigeria, the post-election violence took place in April. And many of them were trapped. They just happened to be there. And they were killed. Cattle, their livestock lost, and so on. And so some of them were coming back to do reprisal killings. Most of the Fulanis within Nigeria filed claims, okay, because there was the Lemu Commission of Inquiry that looked at this problem and made recommendation that federal government should pay compensation to those that lost cattle.
Pardon me, but where did this happen? Where were they trapped?
They were trapped mostly around Zonkwa in Zangwa Katab local government, Kaura, and Jema'a.
Okay? These were all in southern Kaduna?
Yes, these are in southern Kaduna. And this happened to be also the areas where we have these problems today. Okay? There are 8 local governments in southern Kaduna. Only 3 or 4 have this problem. Okay? And this is where mostly the killings in 2011 took place. Now, after the Lemu Commission made recommendations and the Judicial Commission of Inquiry set up by Kaduna State also made similar findings, compensation was offered to those that were killed, displaced, and so on. And some of the federal government provided the money and compensation was paid. But of course, those that are in Guinea, in Mali, in Niger, cannot claim any compensation. They didn't even appear before the Commission of Inquiry. These are the people coming back to carry out reprisal killings.
We'll come back and take a look at it from that perspective and find out what you also did to solve this problem. Do join us again. Welcome back to Sunrise Daily, continuing our conversation with the Governor of Kaduna State, His Excellency Nasir El-Rufai. He's here with us in the studio. You have said that you did identify how kinds of Fulani that exist, how some of them move from different countries into Nigeria to cause some of these problems. Now, on the 3rd of December 2016, it was widely published that you had a meeting with a select group of journalists, and you did brief them that your government has traced some violent, aggrieved Fulani to their countries and paid them to stop killings of southern Kaduna natives and the destruction of their communities, saying that the renewed violence is carried out by bandits. Could you explain this?
Well, look, that was reported not only incorrectly but out of context. What we did was this. The Agwai Committee recommended that we should reach out to these transhumance pastoralists because they have established that most of the attacks in southern Kaduna are traceable to them because they were outside the process of the Lemu Commission and the Kaduna State Commission of Inquiry. They did not receive any compensation. They didn't even appear before the commission because they are foreigners. And one of the members of the Agwai Committee fortuitously was part of a team that the late governor of Kaduna State, Patrick Yakowa, was sending to reach out to these people. Apparently, Yakowa also stumbled onto this information and realized that he had to reach out to these transhumance pastoralists from other countries. And that process was going on. If you look at Yakowa's tenure, in 2011 there were attacks. But he started this outreach, and throughout 2012, until he died, there were no attacks as such. Okay? So one of the members of the committee mentioned this, and it was in the Agwai recommendation to reach out to these people through NGOs, civil society organizations, and so on. So we reassembled the team and said, go out and talk to them. Tell them that this has to stop. Tell them that we are willing to offer compensation for lost lives, for lost livestock, but it is senseless to keep killing people because you feel that, you've been offended.
So did they respond to you? Yes.
Pardon?
Did they respond to you possibly?
They did. We sent a team and they went round, and by the time they made 3 or 4 such groups, the killing stopped. So between August, if you...
So, I hope everyone captured what this man just said here. You know, when we come online and we say Nigerian government is sponsoring terrorism directly and indirectly, it is not a blackmail, not a propaganda. From this man that is speaking here, every one of you know him, El-Rufai, one of the people that are in charge in the northern part of Nigeria, one of the people that are at the top in Nigerian government. You can see him explaining clearly that they know the people that are perpetrating the atrocities you are seeing today. Mm-hmm. The people that are carrying guns across the whole country, trying to take over the land, they know them. He knows them. They have gone to them to pay money to them. They have talked to them in certain occasions. They have gone and paid compensation to them. But how do you think you can continue? It's just like when the US tell you that they don't negotiate with the terrorists. They don't. These people don't repent. Mm-hmm. This is the same thing that happened when you say you say repentant Boko Haram. They have repented. Then you take them and put them into your military and give them that arms to go to the southeast and begin to take lives. This is why we are saying that we don't want to be part of this Zoological Republic. Judging from what this man have explained, federal government of Nigeria knows the people that are perpetrating this atrocity. The people that took the life of more than 200 people in Benue, they know them. Yeah. They know where they come from. They know where they stay. The government of Nigeria know the people that are kidnapping students, children. They know them where they are. But what do? They go and pay them compensation. Yeah. They go and take them to come and join their military. They go and tell them to come and contest for election. They take them and put them as vice president. And they think by doing that, you will calm them down. Wash a pig, bath a pig will remain a pig. Yeah. You see why the destructive diversity in Nigeria is irredeemable. Nigeria must be disintegrated. Create country among people that have the same value system. This Janjaweed Caliphate, they love their cow more than anything. They love their religion. We don't have a problem with that. They want to create a caliphate. There is nothing wrong in creating a caliphate. But keep it to yourself. Force people to join you. Do it among yourself and deal with it. That is why we are calling that this thing must end. This is why we have been sitting at home for more than 5 years now, demanding for the unconditional release of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, telling the world that we are no longer part of this Zoological Republic. They have lost legitimacy in our territory. I saw a video yesterday. For the past 5 years now, we are conducting self-referendum every Monday. And there is no place in the world where a group will be sitting at home every Monday for years and the world is not outraged and talking about it. Only in Africa, because it is Biafra. Massachusetts, yesterday, I saw a video on this Kocha guy's platform. And in this video, the military and the terrorist, there's a particular one that said that he has been declared wanted or something, So they gathered, they had this meeting with the military, and the terrorists told the military that, look, that you people want us to stop the terrorism. You want us to stop terrorizing people. That is not going to happen. It won't stop, they said. They told the military that it won't stop, including the one that is wanted, came there with his arm and everything. And at the end of it, the military, they just let them walk away. Freely, they just walk away like that. Yesterday, if I lay a hand on it, I'll try and send it to you. It was yesterday I saw it. So you ask yourself, what is the meaning of all this? Terrorists who are killing people, they came in that meeting and the military could do nothing. So obviously
They are in charge of the country. It's a terrorist country.
You say it's a terrorist country because why must you even have a meeting with them?
Okay.
You're discussing. And when they are coming with arms.
Yeah.
Display their arms.
Yeah.
What are you discussing?
Did you see the video? Have you seen the video, Mazi?
I've not seen it.
Oh, that was yesterday. I saw it yesterday.
You see the audacity of these people when they come to Nigeria, how they are complicit.
Yeah.
In any part of the world, even when countries are making negotiation, they send representatives. They don't come to confront the country. They don't come.
Yeah.
They will send a representative. But in Nigeria, they will come as they are with their own arms to discuss with the government of the day. Abomination. And you want us to...
Mazi, have you asked yourself why are they still using the old Naira? After getting the 3 years, the money was changed. And MFM is in prison.
Oh.
Why? One of the reasons is because of the ransom they collect. One of the reasons.
Emefiele is still in prison, huh?
Of course.
Yeah. Look at what this.
Emefiele is in detention.
Okay.
One of the reasons that money was still in circulation to today is because of the terrorist people. All the ransom they are paying, they cannot change that money because of the whole billions the terrorists collected. If you change that money, the money it will be wasted. That is why you see those money are still in circulation. I'm telling you. So that is one of the reasons. Then another thing again, ask yourself, why did the honest and the Igbo with the Eastern governors want to kill Martin Nnamdi Kanu? Just because he said, okay, go and make sure that the second Niger bridge, make sure that the airport is working, make sure that all the seaport in the south is in the Biafra land is working. If you get me all these things and get me restructuring, maybe I will further down anything concerning Biafra. Instead for them to go and negotiate and stand on their feet and talk about it, they say, Buhari, the best thing for you is to go and do what? And kill him. So, but this man is proudly standing on national television telling you that he collects billions of naira and go and pay terrorists for them to stop.
And they didn't stop.
He did not call the military and the army that know where those guys are and say, this is where they are. Go and kill them. Since they say they don't want to stop terrorizing them. But he collected billions of dollars and he paid them for them to stop terrorists. They used it to go and buy more equipment. And he's here coming to tell you that the money was paid for them to stop. It was lie. It was pure lie. So that is why you must know what these Eastern governors and the Ohanese with all the Eastern politicians, the evil they are doing to their people. Remember when this guy was central bank manager? What was his name again? The one that
Sanusi. Sanusi Lamido.
Sanusi, how many billions did he send to the north when he was the central bank governor? Do you remember? When Saludo was governor, how many more persons did Saludo take us to central bank of Nigeria and offer them job? I'm not talking about for him to talk, to bring down something to the east and say that there is something they were supposed to use it to do. Nothing. So, all those things are the signs that we should know. So when somebody is coming out to tell you, why are you fighting for Biafra? All those criminal Eastern governors. And it's a pity that nobody wants his own to die. But those people that they are not worthy to live in Igbo land. I'm telling you. They're not worthy. They're not worthy at all. Yeah. Now the people who call themselves Boko Haram and Herdsmen they will go and recruit them and say they are repented. I think there is one military man say that the terrorists can never stop in Nigeria because of what they are seeing in the military. That when they after they will go and pick a number of Boko Haram, and they will bring them into police and army. And when they come into the army, they will give them more powerful arms, and they will give them more training in the military, and they will use that training and every information they have from the military and the police and the training, and they use it and turn against them. So that anytime you go out with them to do any raid against the terrorists, it cannot work. This is what these people are doing to their people. But Saludo is using his Udoga chair and killing his people. Okay? So, my brother, any person that is still having double mind, because ask yourself a question.